And welcome to That Business Show 2.0 with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes a show business. Today we're going to be talking about a new event company happening here in the Tampa Bay region. So if you like to party and you like to drink, you definitely want to stay tuned to hear what's going on with the new Downtown Crawlers. Thomas Newark, Director of Events, is with me today and is going to be talking about this new event company that they've launched here again in Tampa Bay. So Thomas, welcome to the program today.
Jamie, thanks for having me on the show again. Always great to come on the show, and I like the little setup that you have there.
Appreciate it, Thomas. You're one of three different brothers there. You've been on the program before, with an app, but today it's all about the Downtown Crawlers. Tell us what this is and what's happening in Tampa.
Well, I'll give you a little backstory. So my younger brother and I have an older brother. Obviously, I'm the best looking brother. Maybe they won't agree, but. Basically, we came here a couple of years ago. We launched an app or did a test market called Kingo, and that's why we were on the show last time with you about a year ago. And we did a test market, which was very good, got it here in Tampa area, but we needed more content creators. It's kind of like a local Snapchat, the app Kingo. And we got a good amount, but we needed more content creators. So we're thinking about, about a year ago, sitting out at the table with my brothers, some friends, how can we get more content creators on this app? Because a lot of content consumers, but not enough content creators. So
right, this app was designed basically to let people know what was going on in their area, right? What
Exactly.
Bars are happening, sporting events. It was just a community app to let people know what was going on, but you didn't have enough content in the area.
Content creators, exactly. Good memory, by the way. That's pretty much like the app. What's happening around you? You could see what's happening, a mile away, 500 yards away. It's kind of like also now, obviously, what the big, Snapchat now is doing, where you can go with the maps and stuff, and that's obviously tough to compete. But on the other side, like when we had the test market, we said, hey, we need more content creators on there. And how do we do that? So the question that we asked, and we said, why don't we do we got to build a community around it, build a community around the app. And then the question was, how do we do that? And my younger brother, Andreas, he's in a bartending industry. He's been living here in Tampa, many years. So he said, why don't we do a bar crawl or like a regular crawl? And we highlight that, especially downtown Tampa, because we live downtown. We like downtown. You can drive around with the bikes, and it's the downtown Tampa. It's up and coming. Give it another couple of years down the road. Downtown Tampa is going to be awesome. With Vinnick and stuff, with his team, building so many things.
There's a lot, what's happening also in Tampa, a lot of beer breweries or beer pubs and craft breweries, I want to say, they're popping up all over the place. And so Tampa Bay is starting to get known as a hub of craft breweries. Is that also something that you're highlighting on these downtown crawls?
Exactly. So basically we said, we did this last year, we did one event a month just to see if there's something that this works. So we talked to a lot of the bars and restaurants and pubs, and they were great. They were saying, hey, whatever you guys can do to drive traffic to my bar and in downtown to highlight how good and cool it is to actually go out in downtown. Because living here in Tampa area, you think about going out having a good time, the last thing you think about is going out in downtown, usually. You go to South Tampa, you go to St. Pete, Seminole Heights, Ybor City, but downtown Tampa, not really.
Yep, Tampa definitely struggles in the downtown market, but like you mentioned, Jeff Vinnick and what's going on with Channelside, a lot of revitalization coming into the area, so definitely a hope for the downtown Tampa community.
Exactly. So we did that, just a test run last year, a couple of events, and we had 30, 40 people show up, most of them friends. You kind of get it going. And all of a sudden, we get 75, we get 100. People are thinking like, hey, basically, long story short, people in Tampa area loves to do stuff. And we just launched in March. We call it Tampa's Last Saturday Bar Crawl, where we have a core 5 bars that are included here in downtown Tampa and Ybor City, and then we go to. And it's not your regular bar crawl where you get your wristband and use your cup and off you go. It's kind of more 25 to young professionals, 25
right.
to 55, good range, great for networking. I'm a little tentative at calling it even a bar crawl because it's more of a social event. Obviously, people get to drink, get bar specials. Every bar that we go to gives you a welcome drink or welcome shot. Working with bars like Franklin Manor, District Tavern. Pokies is a pub right there. We always play Flip Cup. We have in Ybor City, we have Rock Brothers Brewing as well as joining us. We had the Hideout before until they closed for renovations. And I'm missing one more bar, and that's Yeoman's. So those are the core 5 bars that every last Saturday of the month. We've been started that in March, and now we started with 50 people, and the last one was a sellout with 200.
Wow. And
the reason why we sell out at 200, because we have 3 buses. Afari Transport is doing a great job kind of providing the buses out there. And we go from one bar to the other bar as a team. So you have 200 people. And we think about the logistics, take 200 people on the bus,
yeah,
you go bar to bar. And it's more of an upscale kind of social event.
Yeah, I was going to say, so all 200 people go to each bar at the same time. It seems like you might want to stagger that a little bit to help the bar a little bit.
That's true. I mean, we know at 200, we luckily the last couple of months we're sold out with 200 for that particular event. So we're happy, of course, that was going on. The bars loved it. I was kind of the last one, kind of have to get myself into the bar and kind of close the door behind it, and the bar was packed. So obviously,
I mean, that's a lot of pressure on a bartender, because you always get a welcome shot. I mean, pour 200 shots there, all of a sudden.
Well, we're getting smarter. They're getting smarter. They're pre-pour it. So it's well organized. I think the feedback we've gotten has been amazing. People love it.
And so how much time do you spend? You said about 5 bars, and then you go from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Saturdays. And so what is that, about a little over an hour per the bar, about an hour and a half?
Hour and a half. We typically, we say 8 o'clock, but with an event company, everybody has a good time. We sometimes finish at 8:30, sometimes 9. We always finish with usually after party. Sometimes, Franklin Manor does a great job also putting the after parties on. So, but besides that, I want to talk just a couple other events. So we're not just doing bar crawls. We're doing kind of treasure hunts or adventure hunts or scavenger hunts, so you want to call it. We've worked with Downtown Tampa Partnership, the City of Tampa together. They hired us to do, for example, the Mayor River Green Fest in March, where that was probably our most popular event, where we had over 400 scavenger hunters going from Curtis Hickson all the way to Ybor City. There's 20 tasks that they need to solve, some activities related. They go into some of the bars and restaurants to pick up some specials. So people here in Tampa love to do stuff. They love to do events, go dress up and stuff like that.
How are you getting the word out to the community? Word is so obviously social media, but getting people to sign up for events and spreading the word can be a challenge for some promoters. What's working well for Downtown Crawlers?
Good question. Yeah, I mean, I think luckily my older brother Marcus, he's a social media manager, a very creative guy, and he does a lot of the social aspect of it. I think we're very well represented when it comes to Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Insta stories. So most of the word gets out with word of mouth, first of all, for the people that attend. So for some of the friends, I think what helps us also, the connections we've made over the last 2.5 years with some of the communities, South Tampa Chamber, Tampa Bay, or Visit Tampa Bay and so forth. So they can help us spread the word besides social media.
Now I'm looking over your press release again. These go on. Is it every Saturday right now?
Now for this, the Tampa Last Saturday Bar Crawl is every last Saturday of the month. So the next one is coming up August 26th. We still have some tickets left, and actually this one is college football is back. I'm excited, big USF fan, and so we said, why don't we do a college football theme? So if people are listening to this, there's still tickets available. August 26th from 2 to 8. We're starting at Franklin Manor from 2 to 3:30 is check-in, and then you have to represent your favorite college teams, so your USF, FSU, Georgia, whatever you are. Bring a T-shirt or jersey, and what we have, the cool thing about this, whoever signs up has the most representation, and I'm hoping USF has, let's say, 75 people come out of those 200, and then they will get special treatment, VIP service along the route. All the 5 bars have a special bus for them where they get in. So if you sign up and you have the most supporters for one university, you get some special surprises.
And again, tickets, downtowncrawlers.com is the website. Standard price, $30 per the press release. Buy 4, get 5 group package between $80 and $120. That includes a free welcome shot at each of the bars. Free transport, so no drinking and driving. So that's a very good way to attend or get out to the bars, of course. You say a crawler bus, you say shotgun beers. What, everybody drinking on the bus too?
You can drink on the bus. But what we did one time just for fun is turned into a tradition. Basically, in order to get on the bus for the first time, it's kind of a rule that you have to shotgun a beer. So imagine having 200 people shotgunning a beer, getting on the bus. So
wow. Shotgunning is something you got to learn, or you build up confidence to. Some of those lightweights don't do that stuff. How are you getting 200 people to shotgun a beer?
Well, I mean, we kind of tell them that they have to, but of course, if they say, "Hey, just give me the beer and I drink it regular," we're not going to kick you off the bus. It's okay.
And who says peer pressure is dead? So also. Also, free bar games, free raffle ticket, and just a lot of fun. So you can learn more about that at downtowncrawlers.com, going on from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The next one being on the 26th of August here in Tampa Bay. Currently talking to Thomas Newart, Director of Events for the Downtown Crawlers. Learn more again, downtowncrawlers.com. Got to take a break. When we come back, though, we'll talk a little bit about the other side of the business there, the Kingo app, what he was alluding to at the top of the segment. And you're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. And welcome back to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. My guest, Thomas Newart, Director of Events for Downtown Crawlers. Learn more at downtowncrawlers.com. Again, a fun event to get your people together and network with so many others. They had 200 people at the last event, so from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. The next one will be on August 26th. Pick up tickets, downtowncrawlers.com. Thomas, the day after the event, you got another rum festival or something coming up. What's this?
Yeah, we call it the Rum Hunt. We just went live with the event a couple of days ago. We're working with Monica from Big City Events. They're doing a Rum Fest, the famous Rum Fest now at Curry Sixon Park, September 2nd. So now what we're doing to create a little bit of a hype and have some people kind of get ready for the Rum Fest, we're doing a Rum Hunt the day after the last Saturday bar crawl, which is Sunday, August 27th. And what that is kind of a mix between a scavenger hunt and a bar crawl and just an adventure hunt, where we have where teams of up to 4 people get to play. They sign up at 4 o'clock. We start. It goes from 4 to 8. The bars where we start in Ybor is going to remain to be determined. Just check our social media feeds for that. But it's a fun thing.
And I was just saying, you give back too. There's a charity aspect to it too.
That's true. The charity aspect. I mean, not particular for this one, but most of the events that we host. Okay, and over the last years that we started, we hosted about 30, 35 events. Most of them have a charity aspect to it, which means we donate some of the proceeds to charity. For example, Meals on Wheels. The other one was Metropolitan Ministries, Florida Special Olympics, Ronald McDonald House as well. So where we, write a little check, give some money off. That's usually the easy part. But also what we do, we kind of get in there. We get our hands dirty. Metropolitan Ministries. I was cutting ham and cheese for like 3 hours,
right?
And stuff, which is it's fun. It's great to help out in the community, and that's what also Downtown Crawlers is all about. It's all about helping local businesses out, local charities, showing off what downtown and also Tampa Bay area in general has to offer.
What are you looking to grow the company into in terms of the number of events? What's the goal?
I mean, okay, so right now we host about 3 events, maybe 3 events or 4 events per month. We want to do probably go up, until the end of the year, we have probably 5 events or so per month. And then next year in January, we want to up that a little bit more. We have people calling us for also corporate outings that we did as well for a few of the companies here. And but eventually what we want to do, we want to try to make sure Tampa Bay area has tons of fun events to offer to all the Tampanians and from St. Pete all over. But also if this is taken off, give us another 6 months down the road, we want to go to Miami, Orlando. Those are the next 2 cities that we want to open with the Downtown Crawler, events.
Downtown Crawler image and the brand. And so how does what's happening in Channelside and Jeff Vinnick come into play here? A lot of excitement around that. How do you think that's going to impact your business?
Well, I mean, I hope so. It's going to impact our business great because there's when they're building, obviously there's so many more businesses to show off, And like I said, it's not just about bars. Like we're doing music crawls. We're working on a food crawl, wine and like a wine pairing crawl. So there's not just only about drinking. So we're doing a river walk crawl coming up in November. We will highlight some of the river walk activities that you can do there. So it's like I said, the bar crawl thing is one of our pillars, but we have definitely a few other themes that we're working on.
How do business owners get involved in this? If I'm a bar downtown Tampa, this is something I want to know about. So how do those people get involved with the downtown crawlers?
Well, I mean, luckily, I would say you have to give credit to Andreas, my younger brother. He goes to the bars, and a lot of people know him. He knows a lot of people in the bartending industry or bar industry in general here in Tampa. So a lot of times it's through connections. People know what we're doing now. We're growing the reach. We're growing our sponsorship because we have also sponsorship opportunities available. But yeah, that's kind of how they get in contact, or they can just shoot us an email or go on downtowncrawlers.com, and if they scroll down, you can just put in their name, and if it's a bar or restaurant or business that we want to showcase or they want to highlight, we do that online.
Now, this all spun off of, again, the Kingo app, which is spelled Kyngo. You needed more content creators there to basically, make the app, beneficial to the community. And this app, again, designed to let people know what was happening in their area, whether it's a mile, 5 miles, 10 miles away.
Right.
Just not a lot happening, though, in Tampa Bay, unfortunately. So you all went out there and created the events. And so you spun off a secondary business trying to help the first. What's in stock or what's in store, though, for the Kingo app?
So the Kingo app is on the back burner right now. We want to try, because Downtown Crawlers has taken off over the last 6 months or so. We're going to push that envelope, that business, at least for the next 6 months. And then we already have our coders, developers already on standby pretty much. And we want to kind of use the app, the Kingo app, almost like a, how do you call it? A
driver or a lead source?
What's the word I'm looking for? Like a companion app, exactly. Okay. A companion app for those events that people can post stuff and can see things, and maybe even use because we do scavenger hunts, or adventure hunts as well. So maybe even put a map on there where people can do self-guided bar crawls or scavenger hunts through downtown Tampa, and they, if they click on a certain business or they do something where they post something, then they get a 50% off a beer of some or some drinks or whatever the bars want to do. So
what was the background of the app? I think this was, if I remember, it was inspired by a trip overseas. Yes, tell us about the founding and where it came from.
So basically, my younger brother Andreas and I, we went to Brazil. We're from Germany, so we're big soccer fans. I went to Brazil for 5 weeks. We went to the World Cup in 2014. We had a great time. First time in Brazil, didn't know the language. A lot of people don't speak English over there. And a lot of times you just don't know. You went to like 6 cities and you don't know what to do, what's happening. So the initial thought was, wouldn't it be nice if I have can use my phone and I can connect to locals just through messaging, and that kind of spun into more like the app, what it is now pretty much. And so we went to Silicon Valley for about, almost a year. We're able to raise some funding. I came back here because that's, the East Coast here, Tampa, Sarasota area. That's where we kind of grew up for the most part. And we said, hey, we got to come back here, launch it here, do a test market. And that's kind of how we came into with the Downtown Crawlers, because we wanted to get that community bigger for the app, which, in hindsight, if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting business in hindsight, we should have created community first. If there's a big enough community, then go out and bring out the app. But you live and learn, I guess. And
you're fortunate. You have 2 other brothers. You're the third of 3 brothers. You get to work in business together. A lot of people say that can be a death knell. How is it working with your other brothers?
I think I mentioned that before to you when we talked. It's kind of we were all doing our own jobs. I was the director of tennis at the Ritz-Carlton in Cayman Islands for 9 years. So that's not a bad gig to leave. But I said, when we came up with this idea 2.5 years ago, I talked to my brothers. We said, hey, let's all quit our jobs and let's get, put all the hands on deck and let's get this going, because our relationship with the family is very tight, and I don't want to look back 10 years from now and say, I wish I would have. So far, I don't regret it. Maybe talk to me in a year and maybe I said maybe that was the biggest mistake ever. But right now I have a great time working with Marcus and Andreas and some other interns and other people that along the way that we work together with. So it's exciting.
Well, you're having a fun time here at the Downtown Crawlers. You get to go out and party with your brothers once a month, plus all the other events that you're doing. You're saying you're doing about what, 3-4 different events each and every month. Are they are they always themed around kind of like the party atmosphere, or do you do events for like the family? Tell me about what's on tap.
Yeah. Exactly. So for the most part, yeah, the ones we did so far, yes, most of them were more party oriented. But we did, for example, a Tampa Bay Rowdies crawl. So we're trying to get a couple buses from Tampa down to St. Pete to watch the Rowdies. One of my favorite soccer team here in the area. And you know how difficult it is to get people across the Howard Franklin Bridge.
Yep.
So we do stuff like that. We're also gonna do a wine and not a
wine tasting.
Wine tasting. We're doing a Riverwalk crawl in November, day to be determined, and that has not so much to do with drinking, but just highlighting the Riverwalk. We're doing a music crawl. We're working also on a Tampa Bay Amazing Race. So none of these stuff, not all of them have to do with partying. It's just some fun things that people can get out. It's great. Weather is awesome here in Tampa. You can always go out pretty much every day to do something cool.
And again, when people can pick this up or learn more about this, I should say, downtowncrawlers.com, their next event coming up on August 26th for the Saturday evening crawl, or I should say Saturday crawl. It starts at 2 p.m., goes to 8 p.m., and you get a tour bus of a group of rowdy people. They had 200 people last time. Just be sure you know how to shotgun a beer. Some people are probably asking, what is a shotgun a beer? I don't even know what that is. So.
But like I said, just the stigma about the bar crawl, I guess, it is more of a very relaxed social event. Yes, people can drink. Every now and then people get a little tipsy, but in general, it's great. It's good networking. For 6 hours to be together, on an event is a lot of fun. And you arrive as strangers and you leave as one big happy family. So you get a lot of good networking context through that as well.
And at the next beer crawl, they'll be having a keg stand competition too. So make sure you practice.
And you invited.
Make sure you practice your keg stands. So that's all fraternity stuff. I did all that stuff back in the day: beer bongs and keg stands and shotgun beers, and I did all that stuff. I'm lucky to still be here sometimes when I think about some of those crazy nights that I had back then. So, but again, you can pick up tickets at downtowncrawlers.com. So Thomas Newark, Director of Events, thank you so much for being with me on the program today.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thanks for having me. Appreciate
it. Absolutely. Downtowncrawlers.com. Next event, August 26th. Pick up tickets at that website from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. and have a lot of fun. New episodes of this program air weekday mornings, 9 a.m. on thatbusinessnetwork.com, and we're always looking for content. So visit tbsinterview.com for more information. And please subscribe on iTunes and on YouTube. Leave a comment and a review. It helps the program grow. It helps our message get out to more and more people. So again, iTunes and YouTube to subscribe on the program. Links for all that stuff on thatbusinessnetwork.com. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.